Hello Paisanos, it's Ian63, and I finally have finished playing through Neon Inferno, and I have to say, man, oh my god, what an amazing video game this was from start to finish. Just everything about this video, everything about Neon Inferno was just pure adrenaline rush, just pure energetic fuel, and just pure immediate, just fast-paced fun. And honestly, that's basically just how I felt. Just so fast. My adrenaline was just pumping, like just shooting through this entire like world of, dystopian like future of, New York City and stuff, which is where the game is based around. And yeah, and the soundtrack right here, oh my god, man, this soundtrack is just chef kiss, just amazing, honestly. I'm just gonna show you my favorite overall track I loved from this game and stuff, which was, where was it? The final boss theme, I believe. Was it this one? Yeah, I think it was this one. Oh my god, man, just pure. I know this was gonna be amazing since, again, it is based around, the 32-bit and 16-bit era of retro gaming, PS1, Saturn, SNES, and Genesis. But man, they went even further and beyond. And if you guys don't know, this was made by the same guy who made, Steel Assault back in 2021. I already Let's Played that game back in August 2025 this year, and it was amazing. And this game was even more amazing. So, anyways, similar like with my Hollow Knight Silksong video, I will be explaining this by showcasing my Let's Play video series on YouTube, and yeah. So starting from part 1, first of all, this intro is just pure hype and stuff. We get introduced to our characters, set in, of course, New York City, 2055. Angelo and Marina and stuff, and both are off, to stop their 3 biggest enemies who are trying to take them down, trying to one-up so they can own this area to themselves. Yakuza, the NYPD, and Panky, I don't know. I'm just gonna call them robots, and yep, and the best prevail becomes, and also a Dante's Inferno reference for some reason. But one thing I've learned ever since Pizza Tower in 2023, if the game starts off with an amazing intro, with an amazing music to go with it, it's gonna be a good game. And surprise, surprise, well, I think you know what I thought. This game was amazing. But anyways, onto the gameplay. It has simple mechanics such as shooting, slashing your sword, and dodging, but there is one certain mechanic that is very unique, honestly. And I feel like this kind of feels like Katana Zero in a way, but do you like, no, not this part. It's coming after, like, dodging these bullets. Let's see. If you keep holding C, you can actually do this slow down time or something like Zawato JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and stuff, but that kind of reminds me of Katana Zero a bit. But yeah, but I know Metal Slug, Contra, Mega Man X, Thunder Force, and Metroid and Mario, I get a lot of vibes from this game and stuff. But I think maybe Katana Zero could be an inspiration also. And then after that, you're off to start at the first level, which is, I don't know how to pronounce this name, unfortunately. And the first stage is just pure fun and madness, honestly. Just blasting through this area, and I love this bike area and stuff where you're switching lanes. Of course, I was getting hit a lot, I was dying, but eventually I learned all the patterns and stuff. And finally, that was stage 1. Very fun, great introduction stage. So now moving on to part 2. Where you're on the subway train. Of course, it's New York. What would have been incomplete without the subway train? And flying cars. And I love this skyscraper scene. And then we're finding the Oprah CEO along with his robot. And then of course I died a lot, but I was able to beat him in the end. And yeah. So that was part 2. Second stage done. Now for part 3. For the third stage. Where we find another Yakuza in his DJ nightclub and stuff. And also, for some reason, this reminds me of Final Fight. I don't know, I just get the vibe from Final Fight because of that stadium boss stage. And then we go upstairs, and then we fight him with now a Star Wars lightsaber and stuff. I don't know, for the Star Wars reference. I think maybe Star Wars could have been also been an inspiration here, because I also get a lot of Star Wars vibe from all the Neon stuff, combined with Katana Zero. But anyways, after that, third stage done, and yeah, and that was part 3. So now for part 4 and the 4th stage and stuff. This destruction wasteland and stuff, that kind of reminds me of one of the Metal Slug stages. Or probably Mega Man X6's opening stage. And yeah. And then you go to this burning hotel. And then we fight, of course, the evil, we fight the NYPD chief, who's been, giving us the trouble and stuff, which is Helen. We defeated Helen and beat her up for good. Well, not quite, because she comes back again. I apologize if I spoil that. Comes back again and stuff. In part 5, and then on the 5th stage, of course, then we go to their secret base and stuff, which this is actually, I believe, a callback to one of the Steel Assault stages, since it was made by the same guy. But if you go here, then we fight this Helen Karen again, never learns their lesson, and finally we beat her up for good. And hope that's the last time we see her. Hope she just dies for good. Thank goodness. Anyways, now that was stage 5, now for stage 6. Now, we did get arrested by NYPD, but we just break out. Because, well, what were they thinking? They're arresting a top tier, business hitman. They should have known better. Of course, we shoot in the battlefield and stuff. And then we end up with these train. Of course, we fight 2 robots. We fight this big thing. And then we fight these 2 robots. And now it's time for the, I believe, plot twist of the story now. Where we got called by one of the friends and stuff. And if you don't know, here we go on our phone. And unfortunately, this guy right here, he betrayed us. He was working with the NYPD and Yakuza and other gangs of robots. And yeah, he did this. He basically betrayed us so he could just earn more money. Let that be a lesson of never be in a company or something. I don't know, just don't. But yeah. And now it's time for some vegans and stuff. And now we brought our gun, and now we're no longer afraid of getting caught. Now we are doing this with pure vegans and pure rage. So we storm through the area. This tall skyscraper, more robots and stuff, and NYPD everywhere. And finally, we make it to him and stuff. We first beat his robot minion. And then after that, that's part 7. Now for part 8, which is the final part, which is here and stuff. And yeah, this final boss is just amazing. This music just goes. Okay, you know what? I'm probably just going to just turn it down. Turn it up a bit more. Holy crap, man. This music is just amazing. It was made by the same guy from Steel Assault, so I was expecting the soundtrack to be good. But we get revenge on this piece of garbage traitor who betrayed us. And, well, not yet. And there we go. And finally, a brutal death, but this was about a Hitman game, so what we were expecting. And bam, he is gone for good. Finally, our vegans, we got our revenge served, and this city can no longer be our home. Well, it's true. Can't be in, this area anymore. So, you have to build a new life. For the past of the patient enemy, and he buys his time as well. I'm not sure what that means, but that was Neon Inferno, man. What an amazing adventure. It was very short, but it was just pure of quick bursts of action, of fun, of immediate fast gameplay. and just pure adrenaline rush. And I think despite this being like either 6 or 7 stages long, it was some of the most fun I've had, honestly, in a video game, along with SpongeBob, Titans of Tide. Which, don't worry, that along with my Hyrule Warriors video coming out after this review and stuff. But holy crap, man. So, let me see who was the guy. Hold on, I want to, how do you say his name? Zenovia, I'm just going to call you Zen. Zen Interactive Entertainment, thank you so much, along with you, Retroware, and these other amazing people. From the artist, music, sprites, cinematics, visual, and just the title screen, and just the music. Glad he came back from Steel Assault, man. And yeah. Loving this 32-bit pixel art from PS1, Saturn, GBA. I'm happy that more indies are using this art style because this was my favorite pixel art style and stuff. Mega Man X4, Wario Land 4, and Shinobi Legions. And yeah. Also, they got approved by the official New York. Huh. And published by Retroware. Thank you for making this masterpiece. Thank you, Zen Interactive, for making this masterpiece. And yeah, that was it. Technically, I believe you still have to do the game again, but now in hard and arcade mode. But no thank you, I don't really want to do that. I died a lot, but I'm not ready to suffer even more. And plus, I have Kirby Air Riders coming up I need to play. But overall, that was amazing. And yeah, that was Steel Assault, man. What an amazing experiment this was, honestly, from start to finish. Overall, this was an amazing game. I had a lot of fun with it. And honestly, I'm very just happy I was able just to enjoy this game from start to finish. Just a great game. I'll forever remember this masterpiece. And yeah. So obviously, if you go here on the Steam review, you can find my actually, to be fair, let me go. I'm trying to find from my Steam review because the problem is Steam doesn't really have kind of likes to disorganize a lot of the hold on, where is it? Let me see. Okay, well, I'm not sure what's happening, but yeah, if you go to my Steam review, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna go to my profile instead. But if you go to my Steam review, actually, honestly, you'll find it there, honestly, and yeah, pretty much. But yeah, that was Neon Inferno. Had a great time with it, and yeah, overall, just had a great time and stuff. Just an amazing game altogether and stuff, and yeah. So, of course, guys, that was my overall final review of Neon Inferno, my final send-off review of Neon Inferno, because I won't be playing this game again because I have to go play Kirby Air Riders Part 2 coming up and stuff, but yeah. And also upload my reviews on Titans of Tide and Hyrule Warriors. But overall, an amazing game. I loved it. It was just great from start to finish. The music especially was just amazing. So yeah, thank you, Neon Inferno, for the amazing memories and stuff, and yeah. Thank you, Neon Inferno, and thank you guys for watching my review on Neon Inferno. Amazing video game. Please go get it ASAP. Even though it's very short, it's just pure fun and stuff. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed my spoiler-free review on Neon Inferno. This is Easy3 saying goodbye, and farewell, Neon Inferno.